Welcome to another video, and today I'm gonna break down how I made this Electronica type of beat. Honestly, I have no idea how this genre is called. I googled it and I came up with the genre Electronica. But this song is basically inspired by artists like Bicep, Hart and Barry Can Swim. Let's start with a little bit of inspo. Why did I start making this song? And it's all actually because of one sound, and that's this sound over there. It's very simple, and I'll explain how to make this sound right now. It's basically a saw wave with a filter on it. Then you take a little more unison and you change this envelope to make a plucky sound, put it on the filter, and then you basically have the sound already. I heard the sound in a video of Alex Rome and I just thought, okay, I need to make a song with this sound. That's how I started this song. So let's break it down, shall we? To make the synth not sound boring, I used a simple automation on the cutoff. So basically, the longer the synth plays, the heavier it gets, you know? At the start I start to play a little bit, going up, bringing it down again, and then here bringing it up again, till the build-up section, and in the build-up section it's just one straight line to the end. And after the build-up, in the drop, I basically put like the cut-up way more open, so it's a little bit more heavier, you know? Like you see, it's almost covering the whole song because I just really like the sound. I wanted this to be the main element of the song, you know? I layered it at the drop with another synth. This is a triangle wave that's basically following the saw wave, only then an octave higher. The reason for this is that together it sounds a little bit fuller when the drop hits. That's the idea at least. And then at the second part of the drop I added an arpeggiator. This one is basically following all the chords with a rate of 16. And I didn't make this sound myself, it's just a preset, an arp preset. And together we have like this in the second part. Okay, now that we got the synth sound, we need to look at the chords. To be honest, I didn't make these chords myself, but what I basically did is that I got a spec from Ethan Davis. He's an amazing YouTuber and he got a lot of chord progressions in it. So I basically took like a progression. I got this progression, so I dragged it in, and after that I did make some adjustments. I didn't want like a 4-chord progression, but I wanted to get the first chord played 2 times, so I basically dragged one out. It basically repeats the whole song except for the middle part. In the middle part I wanted to switch up a little bit, because if you get like the same chord progression the whole song, it might get a little bit boring eventually. So in this middle part I just added the 4th chord, the one that I removed earlier. I added in the breakdown session. And very important in this type of genre, you want to make a groove, right? You want to make people dance, and that's why I dragged a lot of these chords just a little bit outside the grid, just so it becomes a little bit more bouncier, you know? And those are the chords of the song. Okay, let's talk about the drums of this song now. It consists of basically 2 different variations. Let's start with like this 2-step pattern. I made like a basic 2-step pattern in the build-up. The idea behind the 2-step in the build-up is like to keep the energy low but still danceable. Like 2-step is very bouncy. Combine that with like some heads. And a trick I saw someone else using, instead of making a 4-bar loop like this, I took the ghost snares and made it a 3-bar loop. And because it's a 3-bar loop instead of a 4-bar loop, the drums are constantly changing. And this brings a little bit groove in theory, I guess. So these are never on the same hits, you know? And then we got a classic snare roll build-up. Honestly, like a lot of people are always hating on snare rolls build-ups, but I quite like them. It just gives energy, you know? Combine that with like a riser. Just a white noise riser, and then on the drop we switch to 4 on the floor, a kick on every beat. Okay, let's talk about basses now. This song basically got 4 basses. Start with the build-up bass. This one is basically a Reese bass that's following all the notes of the chords. very simple. Of course the basses are sidechained with the kicks. That's why you hear like the ducking every so now and then. Then we move on to the bass on the drop. For this one I choose a rolling bass that's following the root notes of every chord. It sounds like this. Let's do one layer. Root notes of the chord. And at the end we go a little bit up. And for the drop I use 3 layers. We got like the sub layer, the mid / high layer and the high layer. The sub layer basically only subtones. You probably don't even hear this if you're not on speakers, but you can see it in the spectrum, right? You basically have only sub. What I did do, however, and a lot of people say this is illegal, but I believe it's like kind of necessary. The subset looks like only the sub oscillator on, and I put a little distortion on it. Usually you want the sub to be as clean as possible, but I believe that if you have like the cleanest sub, you don't really hear it on headphones. So maybe in a club you want like no distortion on your sub layer, but I put a little bit on it just so the people with headphones or the people listening on the phone might be able to hear it a little bit. I'm not sure if this is illegal or not. Let me know if you know more about it. But anyway, we got the sub layer, then we got the mid / high layer. This one is like mainly in the middle, a little bit distorted, and we got the high layer. To make them fit a little bit better together in the mix, I put like a shelf on the high end of the first bass, and I put like a shelf up to the high end of this bass and put this down. And the last thing I did is that I put a small compressor, glue compressor on these basses, just so they fit together a little bit more clean. Okay, let's go to the vocals now. The main vocal is basically a splice loop. If I put all the effects of it and take like the whole vocal, it sounds like this. Hold me tightly, don't ever go, don't ever go. So I hated the first part, but I liked the don't let me go part, so I chopped it up and put only that part in. Without any effects, it's very overwhelming in the mix. So what I did was put like a low cut on it, a little bit Valhalla echo frequencer, so it sounds a little bit more to the back. And for the beginning I put it a little bit more reverb on it, so it's even more to the back. But this one is slowly coming down with automation, and here it's no reverb anymore. This way I hope it becomes a little bit less repetitive, because if you put like the same vocal on it without any animation, it might get repetitive. So yeah, that's the main vocal. I also chopped another vocal up in Serum. A cool thing you can do in Serum that not a lot of people know is that if you open Serum, you go to Wavetable, Granular, and then you can drag any vocal in, for example this vocal. After that, right click on it and go to Slice Auto. You basically have like chops, and these chops you can use with the piano. So this is what I did. After I did that, I made like a pattern in MIDI, and that sounds like this. Very simple actually. And then after that, just some automations, like high cutting it here and slowly getting it in. The last thing, I added this a vocal chop in the background, just to make it like a little more, just to make the second part a little bit more atmospheric. And last but not least, the pads. For the pads of this song, I basically used some high pads in the intro, just to like fill it up a little bit more. It felt like empty the whole song felt like empty without any pads. But what I did is put a compressor that's like side chaining on the synth. So every time this synth comes in, this pad ducks away a little bit. So I thought it would fit a little bit more in the mix like that. Then a second pad comes in at the second part of the drop. It will filter itself in with an auto filter that slowly is opening. And on the second drop, it's these two pads together all the way till the drop. And at the drop, a third pad comes in. And the third pad is basically like a certain preset that's pretty dope. You can find it on the Factory, Orchestral, and over here. And it's almost like a string that's moving together. And yeah, that's it. That's the song for you. Thank you for watching the second episode of the Road to My First Release series. In the end, I don't think this song is ready for release yet, but I learned a lot when making this song, and that's where it's all about. Now sit back and enjoy the result.